Pleasant Grove football with Gary Cherry and Coach Johnny Toombs. Brought to you by Twin City Title, Jimmy Cobb Insurance, Texarkana Athletic Club, John Mugno, Oaklawn Bank, Photomation, Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Pete Mankins, Texarkana Community Hospital, Raffaele Realty, Hunter Power Saw, American National Bank, White's Glenwood House, Buchanan Bottling Company, Bunch Gardens and Pets, Texarkana Truck Center, and Smith Mounts Incorporated.
Welcome to Pleasant Grove Hawk football with athletic director and head football coach Johnny Toombs. Last Friday night, Pleasant Grove traveled to Jefferson, Texas, where that particular night they were having homecoming, and Jefferson came up with a 27-21 game. But Johnny, different game from last year to this year again, another close ball game for Pleasant Grove.
Another close ball game that got away. The Hawks played well. We made several mistakes, but we played well enough to win the ball game. Got off to a late start, fell behind early again, and had to scratch to try to catch up, and just fell a little bit short. Your
passing game last night came on strong in the fourth quarter. You had 173 yards passing, 120 of that, of course, rushing, 173 passing, for a total of 293.
Once again, our offensive totals were sufficient. We needed one more touchdown, but we put 21 points on the board. The offense played very well. We're very pleased with them. We got off to a slow start once again in the first half, but David threw the ball very well in the second half. James Malden and Tonsi Reed made some big catches and got us back in the ball game.
You had some good offensive plays in the backfield again from Todd Hiron and, of course, Tony Wiltshire. Trace Warren came in and played. And David Oliver last night in the passing department was 8 of 16. Of course, he had 3 interceptions.
He had 3 interceptions all in the first half, I believe, all by the same youngster, outstanding athlete in Jefferson secondary, had all 3 of them. But we probably made some poor selections on who we threw to and hesitated a little bit. But in the second half, David, as I mentioned, he's maturing every week, and he really had an outstanding second half throwing the ball.
I noticed in reading the paper this morning, the coach for Jefferson, Bennett, said that it's a different ball team from last year's Pleasant Grove team this year, and exactly that's what we've been talking about all year. Completely different football team, and when you're playing each week, they're going to have to watch out.
Well, I don't think there's any secret that we're better, and we certainly feel like every week we're going to be competitive. We're tired of, we wanted some close ball games instead of the routes we had last year, and now we've had the close ones. We're ready to win some more close ones. We've had, I guess this was the biggest point margin we've had all year long, 6-point difference in the ball game.
Well, last year Jefferson came to the Grove and played. They played an outstanding ball game, beat Pleasant Grove 35-0. Of course, this year, last night was a ball game in which, with a homecoming crowd there and being a home game too for Jefferson, the momentum was on their side. But Pleasant Grove took a lot of it away in several different points of the ball game.
Well, we had a chance to win the ball game right down to the very last play. Of course, we threw a long pass that almost broke right at the end, and Jefferson did beat us 35-0 last year, and it was a mercy killing at that. Coach Bennett and his staff were very nice to us. They could have beaten us much worse than that, but hopefully those days are gone. And in fact, as we've mentioned and we'll talk about later, there's very few routes in this league this year. It's just very well balanced, and on any given night, the Hawks, like every other team, is very capable of beating anyone.
Well, we've got a big first half of action coming your way, but first, these messages.
At Texarkana Community Hospital, we can help with all major and minor medical emergencies. We are physician staff 24 hours a day. We combine affordable cost with prompt quality care. Community Hospital and its medical staff stand behind every medical emergency, whether it is major trauma or minor illness. Now that's community service.
In the showdown between the colas, one fact stands clear. One cola's changed, and one cola's chosen. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Thank you.
Beautiful football weather for Friday night in Jefferson, Texas. Homecoming facilities before the game. As you can see, the 13 seniors for Jefferson. Who were the captains last night, Johnny, for Pleasant Grove?
Captains for the Hawks were seniors Lance Holloway and Mike Crane and junior Trace Warren, and it was a beautiful night. There was a little nippy breeze blowing, and it was a good night for playing football, Gary. Tonsi kicked the ball off. We got good coverage, and Jefferson started on about the 20-yard line, and you can tell that Jefferson came to play football too, Gary, because they really came out fired up that first quarter.
Anytime you have homecoming crowd night, it's a night that they want to win that ball game.
Well, their seniors were, I'm sure, excited about the homecoming activities, and they did get off to a very good start in the ball game. And we've done this several weeks in a row now, not play real well in the first quarter, and the Hawks are going to have to learn to come out from the opening gun and play tough all the way through. We just continue to fall behind, and it's really hurt us.
Kenneth Henderson's a great passer for Jefferson. He's got a rifle arm.
I tell you, Jefferson may have the best all-around skill people that we've played. The Smith that played tailback for him was a good runner, and Anderson's a super thrower, and this Lang Bartles is probably as fine an athlete as we've seen yet.
There's a beautiful defensive play right there by Scott Eichhorn.
Scott was a step away. If another step, he might have caught that one and gone all the way. There wasn't anyone to be able to stop him. But the Hawks, played good, tough defense, but Jefferson was able to come up with some big plays here early in the game.
Another beautiful play there, looked like by Mark Rydell.
I believe that was Steve Cullen made that play. Okay. He made an excellent defensive play, and we do hold on and, of course, get the football back. Jefferson had real quick defensive linemen and linebackers. In the first series, we ran about 3 plays and just kind of really testing them out, and we didn't get any yardage. And I believe that was our only punt of the ball game, Gary. I think we punted one time, and Jefferson punted one time.
Here's at Smith for Jefferson making a good run, almost broke it. If it wasn't for Mike Valentine right there, last minute tackle at the 10-yard line.
Mike gave great effort. He chased him down from behind. I don't know if Mike's as fast as Smith is or not, but he certainly caught him, and they almost score on that play and then come in here on second down and get the ball in for the first score.
Point up is good, but Ken Singleton 7-0 in the early going of the first quarter.
And once again, for the 5th straight week, we start out behind, and it really changes your whole game plan and your thinking, and it's something we're really going to have to work hard on. That's Steve Cullen on the return, and we come out, try to go back a weak side sweep with Tony. We get some blocks, and we're going to pick up a first down or 2 in this drive, I believe. It's a good effort there by the Hawks. The entire Hawk offensive line blocking well tonight.
Todd Hyra made a good run, the 4-yard pickup.
Todd hits up the middle for 4 yards. We come back and throw the ball a little off target, and Lang Bartles makes the interception. And there were several college scouts there last night to check this youngster out, Gary, and I believe he's going to make someone a fine football player.
6'5", 185-pounder, and he has the speed to go with it.
He was a 200-meter runner, did an excellent job in track last year, plus he can carry 20 or 30 more pounds, and he will be recruited heavy. Once again, Anderson drops back, and his quick release is the thing that makes him so tough. We just weren't able to get there, but Mark Riddell, for the 3rd straight week, makes a big interception and makes a good return behind some good blocks, and we get to set up on the 35 this time, and it gives us a little more field position where we can try to open up a little bit more our offense.
Trace Warren into the ball game, gets about a 5-yard pickup.
Trace has been real effective for us. Todd Hiron does a good job at fullback. Trace is about 25, 30 pounds heavier, though, and we use him a lot on short yardage situations. This was another big interception by Lang Bartles. The receiver was there, and David didn't throw the ball off target that much. It was just a little bit overthrown, and a great play by Tony Wilshire kept him from scoring there.
We're in the second quarter. It's still 7-0, but the Bulldogs have the football and are going with it.
They try to run the sweep and get inside. They have a clipping penalty, and of course this moves them back to about the 30-yard line. David Barham, one of our 2 techniques, had a good ball game this week. Once again, our pursuit was good, but their quickness allowed them to get outside quite a few times.
Mike Cowles on the tackle on that one.
Mike Cowles, defensive end, turned that play in, and once again, Anderson to Lang Bartles and down inside the 5-yard line, and Anderson sneaks over.
Anderson sneaks over from the 1, and the point up after for the score is good to make it 14-0. Now we're about midway into the second quarter, and the Hawks get the football, and we get a touchdown here within the next couple of minutes.
And I tell you what, this time last year when the score got 14-0, we had a tendency to get our heads down, and there was no leadership to look to. And last year this game would have been a blowout, but But last Friday night, the kids refused to quit. Their character once again came through. They had a lot of determination. We had some youngsters that would get knocked out of the game for a play hurt, would come back and play just as hard when they got back in, and we're going to show a lot of determination in moving the ball down the field here and getting a score on the board before halftime.
Todd Hiron with a football, another 4 or 5 yard gain. Todd Hiron, being just a sophomore, runs with a lot of experience, it seems like, for a young man.
Todd runs hard. He had some 40, 45 yards last night, and at the same position. Then Warren threw in another 28. Here's Tony on one of his better runs behind some outstanding blocking, and we moved the ball down to the 15. I think Tony had like 15 yards rushing Friday night. Once again, when we get down close to the goal line, we like the big fullback, and Warren takes it down to the 5. Then he's going to get the first down to about maybe inside the 5, and then score on this play.
4 yard run by Trace Warren. He goes in for the pay dirt. 14-6, and the point after, Johnny, is good with Tonsi Reed kicking, looking good on the kicking game.
Tonsi is our new point man now. We've lost a couple of kickers, and Tonsi's really done a good job. We worked hard on it all week, and we possibly overlooked him earlier, but he's 3 for 3, and it's going to be hard to improve on that. If he can keep that going, we'll be in good shape.
Good pursuit again by the defense on that kickoff.
Our quickness, we're getting a lot quicker. There's Mike Kyle's almost getting to the football, and you know, Lang Bartles, what can you say again? He's just a great athlete, and Johnny Stahl was right there, but he was able to make the play. That's Tracy Reynolds and Trace Warren in on that play. David Baum just literally almost tore the quarterback's head off on that play, and he still got the ball off and completed the pass.
A beautiful interception by Trace Warren, Johnny. Just, hey, I've got the football, and he had it.
I think his baseball skills came in handy there. That was a high, hard one right at his head, but he was able to get his hands up and catch the ball, and it did stop that drive. And you know, it's 14-7, and we need to move the ball down the field and try to get another score, but time ran out, 14-7 at halftime.
Well, really, after going down 14-0, the kids did not give up, came right back and got a touchdown before the half. That's always momentum to go into the last half of the ball game.
Well, it makes a big difference when you score right before half and get within a touchdown. 14-0 at halftime is, of course, a much greater deficit. It has a tendency to really get morale down, but the atmosphere in the dressing room was good at halftime, and of course, it was the same attitude they've had all year long. We will and can come back in the second half and win the ball game.
Your offensive line last night just played real good. Last Friday night played real good football.
We're real pleased with the progress. Coach Robert Gatlin is the offensive line coach, and he's made a lot of progress with our offensive line. Center Bill Stone, guards Kevin Carpenter, Craig Schultz, tackles Jimmy Townsend, and Scott Harris have done an outstanding job for us this year.
Did you make anything different last Friday night ball game at halftime? Any changes in your offensive scheme?
Well, we made some decisions on our passing game. We decided to let David roll out more and throw more bootlegs. He's more comfortable doing this. He feels like he can see the defense better from outside rather than on a drop back pass or a play action pass where he throws from the middle field. We also reminded him that we wanted him to know where big number 88 was and try to keep the football away from him, because I don't know as I can remember a football game where one individual completely dominated a half like he did last night.
Well, we've got a lot of action coming your way for the last half, but first these messages.
Fine home furnishings, less than list prices, free delivery, free design service, and now 9.9% 36-month financing. What more could you want?
So when you want more than just a furniture store, it's White's Glenwood House.
Meet Charlie and Jan. Jan's using the new Weed Eater power blower to rake a lawn at over 100 miles an hour. Charlie'd have to rake this fast to keep up. Sweeping the driveway? Same thing. See, this Weed Eater power blower uses a powerful blast of air to breeze through grass, dirt, leaves, even light snow. So if you can't rake and sweep this fast, do it at over 100 miles an hour with the Weed Eater power blower, available here.
This is a stack of $1 million. Why am I showing it to you? Because this is the amount of money Oak Lawn Bank is spending on an expansion plan to better serve your needs. You see, we realize you have a choice where you do your banking, and we'd like to have your business. Extended lobby and drive-in hours, and tellers that treat you like a human being, and loan officers ready to give you the money that you need. Our $1 million investment in you.
Oak Lawn Bank, Yeah, we have time for you.
Fall is for planting, and Bunch Gardens and Pets is your headquarters for all your lawn care needs. Fertilome borer crystals and Fertilome dormant spray protects against winter insects. Fertilome winterizer fertilizer will protect your lawn by building strong root systems. Now is also the time to repot household plants using Fertilome potting soil. Bunch Garden and Pets also has pets and pet care products. Visit Bunch Gardens and Pets for all your fall planting supplies.
We're starting the third quarter of action. Pleasant Grove will receive the football. And Johnny, I must say, Gary Cobb and the Pleasant Grove band last Friday night had a beautiful performance.
Well, I tell you, our band, the Pride in Motion band from Pleasant Grove, under the direction of Gary Cobb and his assistant Kelly Rogers, and the on-the-field direction of drum major Dana Brewington, just do a super job. And they're such an asset to our program. They work hard. They pick us up when we're down by playing, the good loud fight song, and then when we've got the football, they tone it down where we can hear the snap count, and they just do a super job. And the band has improved tremendously this year, just like the football team. We come out throwing in the second half, and we get a face mask penalty added onto that pass to Tonsi Reed, and we won the toss the first half, and we chose to wait and take the football in the second half, and we thought it was going to pay off, but once again, number 88 intercepts a pass intended for James Malden to stop our drive.
Bobby Lang Bartles, he was definitely in the ballgame all night long, offensively and defensively.
He was really a tremendous factor. This pass here is complete down the middle. Mark Riddell right there to make the tackle, but was not able to break up the pass. And Jefferson's on the move, and we need to stop this drive because it's 14-7. We don't want to let them get 2 touchdowns ahead. Once again, down the middle, this pass was broken up by our secondary, and it bounced right into 88's hand, and Steve Cullen was able to drag him down. We thought he was going to score on the play. It was just a fluke completion that certainly counts when you start putting points on the board.
Well, it's early in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs are trying to get the extra 6 points on the scoreboard.
David Barham almost got the quarterback there before he was able to make the option pitch, but he did get the ball off, and they moved down and scored the third touchdown.
Kevin Smith, 3-yard run, the point up is no good, and that's a plus. You're down by 2 touchdowns and only 1 extra point at this particular point.
And it's 20-7, and we're on the headphones to the people upstairs and trying to ask what they can see and what we can do to try to get on the scoreboard, because it's evident now we're going to have to score at least twice to win the ball game. Tony gets good field position on the return, come back with a play-action pass, and there's no one open, and so David turns upfield. We've worked hard with David the last 2 years to get him to do that. He needs to be a runner.